Ifeanyi Okafor, a wealthy and handsome young man, finds himself at a crossroad. Loved by everyone for his kindness and charm, Ifeanyi's only weakness is his fear of marriage. His mother, Mrs. Nkechi, wishes for him to start a family just like his late father would have wanted. But Ifeanyi sees marriage as a trap, something that could steal away his freedom. Little does he know that his mother's dream will lead him into a life-changing adventure. Come with me. Once upon a time, in the city of Lagos, there lived a man by the name Ifeanyi Okafor, a 40-year-old, wealthy, charming, and hard-working young man. He is the only son of his parents, and his father passed away when he was just 7 years old. Ifeanyi has a special place in his heart for one person, his mother, Mrs. Nkechi. He loves and respects her deeply, and her words mean everything to him. However, there is one thing that has always scared Ifeanyi, and that is marriage. Ifeanyi was not interested in anything that has to do with marriage. He enjoys his freedom and doesn't want anything to tie him down. Mrs. Nkechi, however, has a different plan. She believes that Ifeanyi is getting older and needs to settle down with a good wife. She dreams of seeing her grandchildren play around the house, just like Ifeanyi's father would have wanted. Every day, she talks to Ifeanyi about marriage, introducing him to different young women, hoping that one of them will change his mind. But Ifeanyi remains stubborn. He insists that he is happy with his life as it is and doesn't need a wife or children to feel complete. The tension between them grows, and it's clear that something has to change. One day, Ifeanyi was in a restaurant eating. He was lost in thought. The pressure from his mother is increasing daily. Just as he was thinking, an unusual idea came to his mind. Why don't you think about a contract marriage? His eyes widened with surprise. You don't want to get married for real, so why not find a girl, introduce her to your mother, and pretend to be married for a year or so? It will make your mother happy and she'll stop pushing you to marry. Ifeanyi thought about this and then nodded. That's a smart idea, he said to himself. But where will I find a good girl that would agree to this package? She has to be smart, beautiful, and able to play the part well also. Ever since then, Ifeanyi has been going out often than usual just to meet new people and see if he would see a girl that would fit in. Then one day, Ifeanyi went to a popular restaurant. He saw a beautiful and charming young lady who was attending to him and taking his orders. Something stirred up in him. He has found the right person, but his challenge is how he would talk to her about the offer. As soon as the girl drops the food, on the table and smiled, Ifeanyi grabbed her hands and said hi to her. "What is your name?" he asked. "Nneka," she said with a smile. "My name is Ifeanyi. Please, can I talk to you for some minutes?" "I'm sorry, I'm on duty and we are not allowed to sit with customers," she said. "What time do you close from work?" Ifeanyi asked. 5 p.m. sir," Nneka said. "Okay, I'll come over at 5 p.m. so we can talk," Ifeanyi told her. He finished his meal and left the restaurant while he left Nneka with different thoughts flooding her head. What does he want from me? Is it relationship or friendship, or he wants to offer me a job? "Nneka, focus. You will soon find out," she said to herself softly. At 5 p.m., Ifeanyi was at the restaurant. He was seated in his car waiting for Nneka to come out. As soon as Nneka stepped out from the restaurant, Ifeanyi came out of the car and walked up to her. "Hi, Nneka," he said with a smile. Nneka smiled back and Ifeanyi told her he wanted to take her to his favorite spot to have a drink and discuss the agenda of the day. They drove down to the spot and sat down. Immediately they sat, Nneka asked him what he wanted from her. She was shocked when Ifeanyi told her. "Fake what?" "No, I can't do that. It's against what I believe in and I cannot lie." Nneka stood up to leave. Ifeanyi held her hand and told her to please think about it and get back to him. He then gave her his complimentary card. Nneka got home and related the experience to her sister Nena. She told her Ifeanyi wanted her to pretend to be Ifeanyi's wife for 2 years, and in return, she would receive 5 million naira. She told her sister that Ifeanyi assured her that she wouldn't need to do anything beyond the agreement and would not have to work at the restaurant during the contract. Nena looked so surprised when her sister told her she would not accept the offer. "Please, Nneka, you know we need this money. We have been struggling since Papa died. Do you know what 5 million would do for us?" Nena asked. That night, Nneka thought deeply about it. They had been struggling to make ends meet, and the struggle was too much to bear for her. Seeing this as a chance to escape her struggles, she agreed to the deal. The next morning, she brought out the card Ifeanyi gave her, picked up her phone to call Ifeanyi. They met at the same spot, signed the agreement and decided to go meet Ifeanyi's mother that weekend. Ifeanyi took Nneka shopping and bought her expensive bags, shoes and clothes so she would look expensive and more beautiful. He also booked a salon and spa session for her so she would look fresh for the weekend. As soon as Ifeanyi got home, he called his mother with excitement, telling her he had found the love of his life and wanted to bring her over for a visit. Mama Nkechi was overjoyed and couldn't wait to meet the woman who had captured her son's heart. When Ifeanyi and Nneka arrived at Mama Nkechi's estate, Ifeanyi felt both excited and nervous. As they walked into the grand living room, Mama Nkechi's eyes lit up with joy at the sight of Nneka. who looked stunning in her elegant dress. Mrs. Nkechi embraced Nneka warmly, praising her beauty and grace. Nneka played her role perfectly, winning Mama Nkechi's heart with a kind smile and gentle words. Over lunch, they talked about many things, from music to art. Nneka kept up with the conversation effortlessly, impressing Mama Nkechi even more. At one point, Mrs. Nkechi asked, "Nneka dear, tell me about your parents. Who are they? Where are they from? And what industry do they control?" Ifeanyi quickly spoke up. "Mama, is it their position and status you want me to marry, or a woman I love?" Mama Nkechi laughed. "Sorry, Nneka." Nneka smiled politely. "It's okay, Mama. We don't own businesses, but we are doing just fine. Also, my father is late, and I have just my mother and my sister." Mama Nkechi nodded, satisfied with her answer. As they were leaving, Mama Nkechi asked them to kneel down, join their hands, and prayed for their happiness and future together. Nneka said amen as Mrs. Nkechi finished the prayer. Once they were outside, Ifeanyi turned to Nneka and said, "Why did you say amen? You know this is just an act." Nneka answered, "What do you expect me to do? Should I have made her suspect something? You wanted me to play the role, so did I." They both laughed about it. On the way home, Nneka asked Ifeanyi to drop her off at her house. And just as she was about getting down from the car, Ifeanyi told her they will be getting married soon, so she should inform her mom and decide on when he would meet her. Nneka returned home and told her mom about her man visiting soon. She didn't mention the contract, knowing she wouldn't approve. Her mother was thrilled, happy that their daughter had found someone special. Only her sister knows about it. Some days after, Ifeanyi went over to Nneka's house to see her mom. Her mother was so warm and accommodating, and she spoke as though they had met before. However, Ifeanyi did not like the condition of the house. Ifeanyi told Nneka as they both went out of the house that he needed to move her family to a better house since their current one wasn't suitable. Nneka refused, saying there was no need for that. Ifeanyi insisted, saying his in-laws cannot be living in a house like that. Nneka teased. It seemed you had forgotten that this is a contract marriage. Why are you taking it as though this is real? She laughed. Ifeanyi answered and smiled. Fake marriage aside, I can't come in contact with your family and your lives will remain the same. I have helped so many people I don't even know without any ulterior motive. Nneka replied, "Thank you so much." Ifeanyi answered, "Don't mention Nneka." Some days later, Ifeanyi found a beautiful mansion for Nneka's family. They were overjoyed and couldn't wait to see the house. When Ifeanyi came to take them to their new house, they thanked him for his kindness. They prayed that their union be blessed, but they didn't say amen, knowing it was all just a pretense. 1 month later, Ifeanyi and Nneka's wedding took place, with friends and family celebrating the union. It was a lavish wedding, strictly by invitation and attended by the high and mighty. It was the talk of the town. After the ceremony, they returned home, their contract marriage now official. As soon as they got to their new home, a surprise was waiting for the new bride. Ifeanyi handed Nneka a car key. Nneka was dumbfounded. "You have done more than enough for my family, my fake husband. Thank you." They both laughed at the mention of fake husband. They got inside the mansion and Ifeanyi showed her the way to her room while he went to his own room. They were both in bed in their separate room, wondering how the journey would be. The next morning, Ifeanyi woke up early to fix breakfast for his new wife. He held a tray in his hands and knocked on Nneka's door. "Breakfast in bed for my new bride," he said, smiling. "You didn't have to. This isn't real." "But thank you," Nneka said. "Fake or real, this would still be referred to as your first marriage. So I wanted it to be perfect for you." "Okay, husband," Nneka said, smiling. Days turned into months and they both grew fond of each other. Nneka would make breakfast for Ifeanyi and Ifeanyi would care for Nneka, buying her expensive and thoughtful gifts and take her to dinner. They seemed to get along so fast, and it looked like this married thing isn't as bad as they both thought. They cared deeply for each other. One morning, at the dining table, as they both sat down to eat, Nneka stood up to serve Ifeanyi, said their prayers while holding hands, and started eating. While eating, Ifeanyi looked at Nneka and said, "I used to think marriage was a bad idea, but since you came into my life, that thinking is beginning to fade away." Nneka smiled. "Marriage is a beautiful thing. Either find it a wife, find it a good thing, Ifeanyi. Marriage is a union between two souls who wish to be one. It's a partnership, not a prison. It's a journey of growth, learning and evolution together. It's a bond that strengthens with each passing day. If nurtured with love, respect and trust, it's a safe haven where two individuals can be vulnerable, open and honest with each other. It's a commitment to stand by each other through life's ups and downs, in sickness and in health, in joy and in sorrow. It's a beautiful blend of compromise, understanding and support. And most importantly, it's a choice, Ifeanyi. A choice to love, to cherish and to honor each other every day." Ifeanyi was intrigued. "You know, I can agree with that. Since the first day that I met you at the restaurant, I knew you were different and something stirred in my spirit. I don't know much about marriage because my father died when I was little, and from what I used to see online and watch in movies, I didn't want to go into marriage. You know a lot, Nneka. And if you know all this about marriage, why did you agree to the contract marriage?" "I agreed because I needed money. Things have been difficult for my family ever since I lost my father," Nneka said. As they both continued their meal, their conversation deepened, revealing more about their thoughts, dreams, and aspirations. It was a small step towards understanding each other better. a step toward building a genuine connection despite the circumstances of their marriage. Nneka and Ifeanyi continued to navigate their way through the complexities of their marriage contracts, gradually discovering the depth of their bond and the potential for a future beyond the contract. The journey was not easy, but with each passing day, they learned to appreciate and respect each other more, paving the way for a relationship that went beyond mere obligation. On the day of their first year anniversary of their fake wedding, Nneka woke up feeling happy and sad at the same time. She was happy that she had enjoyed this first year and sad that the contract would soon be over, and she was in love with Ifeanyi but don't know how to tell him, as this is against their contract. She had a bath and dressed up to go to the kitchen to prepare something special for Ifeanyi. As she got to the living room, she was shocked to see the surprise that Ifeanyi prepared for her. Drummers, her favorite artist, singing her favorite love song, as she was still looking shocked. She was handed a money bouquet. Ifeanyi took Nneka's hands. This 1 year has been the best year of my life, wifey. You have shown me that marriage is a blessing, and I get to enjoy the care and love that comes from it. He then went down on his knees. Nneka, I've been thinking a lot about us. This contract marriage started as a business arrangement, but it's turned into something more. I'm starting to realize that I care about you deeply. Nneka looked at him, her eyes reflecting both surprise and warmth. I feel the same way, Ifeanyi. Despite everything, you have shown me kindness and understanding. I never expected this to happen, but I'm grateful. Ifeanyi smiled, a genuine smile that reaches his eyes. I know our agreement was supposed to end after 2 years, but I would like to make it permanent. I want us to have a future together, a real future together. Will you marry me for real? Nneka's eyes welled up with tears of joy. Yes, Ifeanyi, I would marry you for real. They stood up and hugged each other. I organized a small event for our vow renewal. We'll get to read our vows genuinely from our hearts and start afresh like real husband and wife. So my wife, go upstairs and go dress up for our event. A beautiful white dress is in this bag, he said, handing her a bag. The stylist is here to make you look more beautiful for our big day, he added. Nneka smiled, tears of joy flowing down her cheeks. Their vow renewal event was a beautiful ceremony filled with love, laughter, and the support of friends and family. Ifeanyi and Nneka's genuine affection for each other shone through as they exchanged vows, promising to stand by each other through every chapter of their lives. As the years went by, Ifeanyi and Nneka grew closer, their love deepening with each shared experience. They built a home together, traveled, and supported each other's dream. Their journey from a contract marriage to a true marriage became a testament to the power of love and understanding. They celebrated their first anniversary surrounded by friends and families. Ifeanyi Ifeanyi looked at Nneka, holding her so close. I never imagined we'd end up here, but I'm so glad we did. You've made my life richer in ways I never thought possible. Nneka smiled at him, her heart full. And you've shown me what real love is. Here's to many years together. As they danced together, the room filled with joy and celebration, a symbol of their journey from an unexpected start to a truly happy ending. Their story, once marked by uncertainty and challenges, had transformed into a beautiful testament of love, commitment, and the power of a partnership that grew stronger with each passing day.